Alright, first off, I want to say Kal Halalimullah, Yehovah, Hashem, Yehoshai, Hashem, Rakakodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways in this work in all sincerity and in all honesty, the sisters, believers, the helps. Shalom. This is your brother Yawahala once again. Just want to do a lesson on this whole conflict, right, with China and the US, and how the US has now put sanctions on China trade deals for the longest while now. China and US has been having back and forth trade deals, trade quarrel, trade arguments, and it has come down or boiled down to the point where the US the US has now banned, or Trump has now put a snip or a cut on Huawei within the US a China based company in the US, because essentially what happens is they're claiming that Huawei is using hardware tech such as chips, right, that can hack the system or software of a US based company to gather information or data to bring back over to China, so that they can have an upper edge of knowing what is going on within the US. So basically, or essentially, they're saying that China is spying on the US using their cell phones, the Huawei cell phones, to gain information for whatever purpose or reason. You understand me? And because of that, President Donald Trump has declared that they don't want Huawei brand, the Huawei phone, because a lot of people don't know, but the Huawei smartphone, or the company Huawei, is not just it's not just a smartphone company like any other, like Apple, Samsung, that sells smart TVs, smartphones, tablet. It doesn't. It's a huge tech giant for China. Let me say it, it's a huge tech giant for China. Basically, it works in pandemonium with the Chinese government, that allows big technologies such as 5G. Huawei is the leading tech group that is pushing 5G. They're actually at the pinnacle, or the highest. Anything you want to do with 5G, or installation, setup, testing, anything at all, Huawei is at the leading forefront of that. And that's Chinese based brand. Their company is huge regarding that worldwide, right? And it is very intimidating for America, seeing that the whole world is looking to move on to 5G technology, right, in the next coming months or years, right? And because of this, they're actually putting a lot of clampdowns and all that on Huawei, and not knowing that a lot of tech companies other than Samsung, Apple, LG, a lot of companies depend on Huawei for their chipsets, because Huawei produce their own chips. They gain material from other companies and build their own chips, right? And all these other companies depend on these chips, right? For example, not for saying Huawei, but for example, a lot of smartphones use the Sony IPXR, so camera lens, right? And a lot of flagship companies will use this camera setup, hardware setup within their smartphones, or whichever devices, right? A lot of companies will use Qualcomm Snapdragon chips within their devices, right? And this too is like other tech companies moving or coming to Huawei for their technology per se, to do whatever they need to do. And this is why I'm saying that this move is a huge thing happening, right? And doing this will hamper a lot of companies, because the moment Trump declared that quota, that Huawei needs to leave the country, not do business. Other companies. Google has pulled back on their license with Huawei regarding Google services, because a lot of people over in the West depend on Google services, Google Search, Google Voice, Google Maps, Play Store to get apps, basic stuff like that. A lot of people over here depend on it. A lot of people in China doesn't. They don't. They have workarounds. And now Chinese companies or Chinese government has stated that people should stop use iPhones in China. China is the one that mass produces iPhones, right? China is the one that build iPhones are built in China for little or nothing and sold for an arm and a leg in the US and other countries, right? And they're saying that, look, Chinese people need to cut off iPhones, and when that happen or when this happen, any China man catch with an iPhone, a problem. You understand me? And because of this, they're now clamping down or implementing a lot of measures or things in place in which the two are at it. Companies like Apple, once the thing was declared, Apple's stocks decline. LG stocks decline. Other big brands stocks got declined because they use a lot of things from Huawei. They use a lot of things from China. And because of that, because of the whole trade war, a lot of these companies are affected, and figures shows. You understand me? Because of that now, they're saying that if the Chinese government will bail out Huawei, which Huawei is actually a government technology institute. It might be owned by other people within shares, but primarily it's the Chinese government, and you can't go around that, right? You understand me? So that's just a brief, that's a good amount I say. I'm gonna just get into the video and get into the lesson and get some precepts on this, you get me? And I hope this lesson is as edifying as possible, right?
Let's do this. Yesterday, we led this newscast with the story of how Huawei is getting a beatdown from the Trump administration sanctions, and more to the point, the president's executive order, which says that no American can now even buy a Huawei phone, no less do business with Huawei. Well, that prompted Google to tell Huawei that they can no longer use its intellectual properties, its hardware, its software, all the Google apps, the Play Store, the Android updates, essentially what makes a phone, right? So if they have to try and sell phones without Gmail, without YouTube, without Google Maps, nobody's going to buy them. So how are they going to survive in 90 days when this thing goes into effect, this punishment from Google? They're going to be hurting. But business is business, right? It's about survival of the fittest, right? It's about the bottom line, right? It's about sink or swim. Nobody gets a handout, and certainly the Chinese government should not step in and help them or bail them out. And if they do, it only proves that they're not a free and fair market economy. They're like socialists or something. Well, let's think about that for a minute. In fact, let me give you some data. So U.S. banks were pretty much the same as in the condition that Huawei is in right now. Back in 2008, they got bailed out by the government of the United States of America. In other words, you and I paid taxes so that our money could be used to prop up those banks. How much, by the way? How much do you think it was? $83 billion a year. Guaranteed subsidy. Thanks to the bailout of 2008. By the way, you know how big a part of that money is spent? It's used to pay the bonuses for Wall Street guys. $31 billion worth of bonuses from money that they take from me and you. You want a more recent example? Here, I'll give you one. General Motors. They got some help from the Trump administration recently. It got $600 million in federal contracts. That's business they don't have to look for. Here you go. Automatic business. $500 million in tax breaks. Compliments again of Uncle Sam. And you know how much their CEO got of that? $22 million. Now, shall we return to the Huawei argument? Will they fail? Or will they be too big to fail? And if they fail, will the Chinese government prop them up? Here's a better question. Are we really in any position to criticize them and accuse them of market manipulation or worse, of being socialists if they do? Isn't that what we did? It's the news with Rick Sanchez, where we believe it is time to do news again, actually. Okay, let's do this. We're going to begin tonight with a question about what China will do and how it will affect you. My old friend and colleague Bart Chilton always used to say something about China. He says that China makes decisions for tomorrow, for the long term, and they don't show their hand. We, on the other hand, make decisions for today, short-term political expediency, and we tend to brag about it while we're doing it. Well, if that's the case, will Xi Jinping wait Trump out for the next 2 years while U.S. companies possibly suffer the consequences? And in the process, will they bail Huawei out? Will China step in and bail China out? Well, it's the same way that we bailed out many companies here. Joining us now is Christy I, who you see on the air hosting Boom Bust, and she's good enough to join us. So how about it? Is first of all, let's go to the Huawei getting bailed out issue. Mm-hmm. Will Huawei get bailed out, you think?
They are the largest telecom equipment provider in the world right now. So if you take that into respect, they are in fact too big to fail. They are the second largest phone maker in the world. So those are just staggering numbers to begin with. And in retrospect, right now, all the banks, they were privately owned and they got bailed out by a government.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Huawei, instead, it's state-owned, state-run, state-backed. So, in fact, the government is merely funding its own company. So it's not really a bailout.
But you know, it's using terms differently. But in the end, if I hear people all the time say, well, that's not fair because, you know, we have true capitalism and our companies have to sink and swim on their own and nobody's going to give them a free ride. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
We're giving companies, left and right a free ride, right?
You're subsidizing Boeing, too, as well, the U.S.
So that makes it a little bit more difficult in that sense. Let me ask you something about what's going on right now with China. I'm wondering if Xi Jinping would be smart, or might he wait it out for 2 years and possibly then hope that the economy of the United States has affected Trump's candidacy so he can't be elected president, and then he'll deal with the next person who comes around?
I think that probably is his plan because China's main strategy is it plays the long game. So as he said today, that China should prepare for the long march. He's referring back to 1934, the communists, when the Red Army actually retreated for one whole year. They strategically retreated for 1 year, marched 9,000 kilometers all throughout China in order to outflank the KMT army. So that's what they did to retreat for one whole year. So that's why they're not afraid to play the long game. And in the meantime, China is saying that they have other tactics to try to outweigh and outcompete.
Like what? What could they do that could truly affect our tech market that we don't know about?
Well, President Xi Jinping was actually in Jiangxi today, and he had a very public appearance at a rare earth minerals mine. And this was a very public appearance. There was photos, and he wanted it to be publicized. Why? So that U.S. can see that they are, in fact, dependent on China's supply of rare earth minerals. China accounts for 90% of all exports in the world. U.S. consumes 80% of all of China's.
Would you mind just stopping and explaining to our viewers what rare earth minerals are and why they're an important component of our tech industry?
They are essentially minerals that are used in all the electronics that you see, ranging from telecom to solar to wind power to your Tesla car and your mobile device, computers. It powers everything.
Wow.
So essentially what China is saying that you are dependent on these rare earth mineral exports. So if we decide to cut those exports to you, your tech industry will hurt.
Wow.
A lot.
Hurt a lot, yeah.
It can stagnate development.
So yes, they'll probably bail out Huawei, even though you say it's unfair to use the term bailout. And two, they're probably going to play the long game and do what they can to wait out Donald Trump while affecting his economy. And
exactly.
I say his economy in political terms because it's all of our economies, right? I'm Rick Sanchez. You found it.
So that went into a lot of information. Like I said, it's a trade war. And trade war will move into a physical war because this has been going on for a long time, and that has been proven through history. Once normally war starts with a trade deal, monetary deal, economic deals, sanctions and all of that before people start defend themselves, before people start defend them turf, before people start just say, yo, what you know? I hold my one and on if I'm on, you see me? Just like what Xi Jinping said, yo, we're gonna take the long run, you get me? We're gonna hold you off as long as possible, wear you out, and then by the time we wear you out, run in. You understand me? That's the end game. Because guess what? All of these countries, all of these tech giants depend on natural earth minerals, and natural earth minerals, I should explain, it's literally some crystals and some, because I researched it, it's some crystals and some rare stones and material that literally generates electricity, right? The electron properties or particles, when compressed or molded in a different fashion or used for something else, it has a very good flow of electricity, right? Which is why it's always perfect to use on electronic devices, because these cell phones and laptops and all of that, they depend on electricity to function, right? So we need something we can conduct as much electricity as possible, can give us a good output, and these natural earth minerals are perfect. And you say China produce over 90% of that for the whole world, and America imports or relies on 80%. They're the one country that consumes the most of that material from China. It says a lot. You see me? Let me say it's an ongoing trade war. And it won't stop here. You'll hear more of it. You understand me? Just like I said earlier, Huawei is a government-based company. It's for the country. It's not a private owned like what America have Apple owned by this money. LG or whichever company owned by a next man. It's actually based on the government. It's one of the biggest companies worldwide selling smartphones and other devices, right? Somebody from China told me that visiting China. Honor is one of the biggest brands in China, right? And who sells Honor phones? Huawei. You understand me? It's a huge thing. It is. Right? This is Isaiah 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America. Right? Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Why? Because all of these countries are gonna see the bullshit America put up with, and they're gonna put arms on America, because there was never any war or world war fought on American soil. So America is like a virgin. I didn't go over there and kick off them face, because America is one of the greatest countries regarding its army and its military might. Right? It was the greatest, but now it's one of the greatest. You understand me? I'm going to show you why. It say, yo, take the millstone and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare thy legs. Everybody uncover and see the whole frigure of one America, the whole democracy will go on. You get me? This, especially this sanction that them do upon Huawei. Their statement is saying that they're hacking other companies and China is getting insights, and this is all just a cover up for what they're really doing, right? And Europe are gonna take on to Huawei and be like, yo, wanna see why America are going so with you and all of that. You understand me? And they're gonna pick sides. Sides are gonna be picked, and people are gonna be against who? America. You understand me? You see, you uncover the thigh, pass over the river, you see me? Because all of these countries are gonna see the folly what America do, right? And what them gonna do? Them all take up arms, and them gonna attack America straight away. Because I be a frigate do. You understand me? Can't prophecy them gonna hit the whole world. Where you think this a move to? You think the Lord say yo them gonna bomb? How much 1,000 millions of missiles are drop on America? You think everybody else get up and say, so feel like one bomb America? Come here, we'll just bomb America. No. Everything has stages. Everything is like a domino effect. Everything takes time to reach to an end goal, and this is all just a build-up of what? Prophecy. You understand me? This is Joel 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. You see me? That's the whole plan. Beat your plowshare into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Those are farming tools, right? So farming tools you have beat in a weapons, just like how these other countries attack the mineral and natural resources to build weapons and nuclear armory. For what? War. Which war? The Third World War, which is coming swiftly, yo. You understand me? It say, let the weak say, I am strong. Who are the weak? All these small countries, Iraq, Syria, all of them Middle East countries, other countries over here in the West, right? All of these small countries was the US would have bully or something. You're not like first world or technically advanced countries. No, them nowadays almost everybody have nuclear weapon. Literally almost everybody have nuclear weapon or nuclear power now. You understand me? And I'm like, I'll just Jamaica. A mine shop Jamaica have nuclear power. We don't know. You understand me? Because them are in league with China. So China would all defend Jamaica. Like say a fleet one. So just like me say, even Jamaica might come up and China back it, and then when you look, full big nose prime minister come out and start the tough chat. That's how serious it is. Isn't it? Assemble yourself and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourself together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which means Yehoshaphat. Isn't me? Valley of decision or dead. Isn't it? And say or Yahweh judge. You say, for there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. You get me? So pretty much like me say, as a war was going over the Middle East, right? Just like when I said the Third World War, because America have them troops over there. America they're way over here in the Western Hemisphere, right? And America have war a fight over in the East, nothing to do with them. Depend them soil, not affect them, but them nose in everybody business. It's America. And the world hates it. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to deal with America like that. And China has a lot to say over America because it has a lot of bonds, American debts, right? America owes China a lot. China export probably over 90% of them goods, right? America, one of them will take a lot of what China produce. China mass produces. You understand me? And this is all a part of a trade war that has been going on for months. This is Revelation, because one of the things why this war, especially the whole trade war, hasn't kicked off and spiral into what it would be, because a lot of prophecies hasn't fully fulfilled, right? The 144,000 elect men probably not seal up yet in all effect. You understand me? Right? They might all seal already, right? But my RFID microchip be fully it's not fully implemented across the world, right? It's being pushed on a small basis in a lot of countries, and America just now coming out with biohackers being like, yeah, we can program this thing, we can make it use, and bring out the idea. But the prophecy not really fulfill in its entirety, where everybody will be forcibly implanted with a RFID, with a chip, right? Mark of the beast. That not fully happened yet. So this war, this is why this trade war hasn't spiraled over into a physical war. You get me? And this is Revelation 7:1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. You understand me? On the earth, the multitude are the people. And the multitude is people, but anyway. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, so these 4 angels are whole off the war. You understand me? Just like what the scripture says, so say it, so be it, yo. It's happening. This is why this war not kick off yet. Right? And they say, yo, saying, hurt not the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribe of the children of Israel. Our children should be sons of Israel. You get me? So all the tribes of the sons of Israel, best believe me, them not sealed yet. You get me? The war will not kick off until certain prophecies are fulfilled. And then the end all be all. Because this is the war to end all wars. Best believe in nothing now left. You're not going to have a Western hemisphere where people dwell in America like that, yo. It's going to be a desert wasteland. And this is all just a build-up of it. Just to uncover the folly of what America do. You get me? And the main purpose of us doing this, because we set up for warn you people about these things. That's why when certain things like this happen, PP clock we ready upon it. A video put up, a brother somewhere across the world, another brother be doing a video or lesson on this or something close to this or whatever the case may be. You understand me? Because we're what, the watchmen. We are see these things. You understand me? And we're gonna make it evident and clear to them. We're gonna drill it in their head till the day come, just like how Noah and him sons them do. So until the day come, we're going to do this. We've been doing this, and we're still going to do this. You see me? This is Ezekiel 3 verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them a warning from me. So only out here prophesy and tell you the downfall of this system and show you the domino effect. When one domino get licked over us, see there? See there? See in the scripture, it said this here. It's gonna happen. You see me? And until then, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be telling you until the Lord commission this to stop. Until the ark, the door of the ark close. You see me? And you people now have nothing left to say, but to take what will come. You understand me? So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to say your call halal yumla, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways in this work in all sincerity, and in all honesty, the sisters, the believers, the helps, Shalom.